So Jerry, do you get a lot of resistance from your customers to the things you want to recommend?
Just you, Ron. You were the only one. Uh, yeah, I think we definitely do. I think one of the biggest concerns is actually something you brought up, Ron, when you first started using Chat GPT was like hallucinations. They don't want the AI to make them look bad or make a mistake or offend a client or, just do something that it's not supposed to do. And that's why it's really important to architect these solutions in a secure environment that is, built around exactly how they like to work and stays within those frameworks so that you avoid like those hallucinations, so that you avoid, any major mistakes or errors.
Can you tell us about any success stories you've had where a client has been resistant or intimidated to bring AI into their firm, but after you provided them a solution, the light bulb went on over their heads and they said, yes, yes, thank you. This is what we need. Could you tell us anything like that?
Yeah. Let me think. I mean, there's a few. I would say that oftentimes it happens actually like at lower levels of companies. Usually those that we're selling to, they want it, they know they need it. They might be surprised at how good it is. We might start with just one solution and then they open their mind to, wow, okay, this, kind of like Heather built, like, hey, this helped me manage my email and my calendar. Can it actually do this as well? And I think once they open their mind a little bit to the capabilities that AI has and they see it actually working, then they can get excited about, what more it can do. At lower levels, I think a lot of employees, and maybe Heather even sees this in like the paralegal space, they are worried AI is going to replace their job. So we've met resistance there sometimes. And we always position it as, hey, this is like an Ironman suit for you. This is an Ironman suit for your employees. We want it to amplify your work. We want it to be something that helps you to enjoy your job more and do more with less. And I think once people like experience it, once they have it in their hands and they see what it can actually do for them, that's when the resistance goes down. So I can't think of like a hyper specific story, but generally we found, hey, we want to show you at least one thing that this can do really well. And typically, once people experience that, they're like, okay, so if it can do my email and my calendar, could it also review documents? Could it also, update my practice management software and do some of these things that people don't always necessarily like take a lot of time, but maybe take, I call it brain calories. Like you still have to log into your practice management, you have to update the client form, all that, blah, blah, blah. This can streamline a lot of that stuff.
So that's really very interesting because I had the sense when we spoke that David was kind of a one and done company. They come in, they do the audit, you make your build, and then you move on to the next customer. Am I wrong about that?
Yeah, I mean, I would say that that might be the case for some firms that we work with where they have developers in house, or software engineers that maybe they just didn't have the bandwidth and we help them, do a project and then they can manage, maintain, and update it. But we are building a piece of tech, and with a piece of technology, we hope everything always goes the way it's supposed to be planned, but there are issues that can come up. So we always stay on board to make sure that it's always running as efficiently as possible. And then on top of that, you all have probably noticed that Claude, ChatGPT, they're always coming out with new models. Sometimes Claude's the best at one thing, and then the next month ChatGPT is the best at it. And then, randomly Perplexity might be really good at another thing. So we also make sure that whatever tasks an agent is doing, that they're using the best model for that task, and that's constantly changing. Claude recently released their latest model, which was Fable, and a fun side note: some of you probably saw the U.S. government was even like, "This is too powerful. Like, we're banning this model," and so they had to make some adjustments, but they re-released it. And that's just an example of like, there's always new stuff coming out, so we stay on to make sure that you're always on the latest and greatest stuff.